So today's video is a bit of a weird one, but I mean, it's the weekend, so we can have a little bit of fun because today we're going to be talking about a scandal involving Nintendo, the Switch 2, and Mario Kart World. Now, this is not the first time we've talked about a Mario Kart-esque scandal with Mario Kart World. Of course, the $80 price point was a huge talking point. The fact that the traditional three-lap system seems to be an afterthought in this game, which angered a lot of longtime Mario Kart aficionados. We, of course, had the whole thing with the online structure where you could kind of trick the game into doing a traditional three-lap race, and then Nintendo removed that. And then they did an update and kind of brought it back, but kind of not. But at least with those scandals, there's something tangible there. There's something that outside looking in, you could kind of understand why people would be upset with some of these changes or decisions that Nintendo decided to do with this game. There was no posturing with this. There was no moral grandstanding with this. It just was Nintendo's decision. But today's scandal, it's all about the pandering, the optics, and just literally at the end of the day, a form of mental illness. Because today we're going to be talking about PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And at its core, PETA sounds like a good thing. You should be nice to animals. Okay, that's cool. I like animals, all right? Well, some of them. I like dogs. I like monkeys. I like Komodo dragons. I think Komodo dragons are pretty neat because they're kind of like the closest thing to like a dinosaur. Sharks, they live in the water. They're a water animal, aquatic, in a different phylum. Yes, I did learn something in school. So, you know, they're cool. I used to really like zebras when I was a child, and I would get very upset when a lion would eat a zebra. But that is the animal kingdom. Survival. You have to eat. You have to, you have to feed yourself and nourish yourself. Survival of the fittest, which we used to have in this world, but now it's gone away. But PETA decided, you know what? We need to do something stupid. And this is not the first time PETA has done something stupid because, like I said, this is a cause that on the surface level seems like something that is a good thing, ethically treating animals. But when you look into their back history and their high kill shelter rates, some of the scandals that they've been involved with as far as the actual treatment of animals, you kind of see the facade crumble at the surface. You kind of see these people, PETA, being like a lot of these organizations where it's just about moral grandstanding and posturing and trying to look good on the internet instead of actually doing stuff that would help for the causes. Like a lot of those awesome video game accounts on YouTube and Twitter that cry about certain things but then support the same companies that do the layoffs and stuff like that. But I digress. Let's get into this here. Inside the PETA Mario Kart World controversy with Nintendo. So Ryan Hajek, you're an idiot. I could say that with full confidence. You're an idiot because you wrote this. The PETA Mario Kart controversy erupted online after we urged Nintendo to remove the nose ring from the new character named Cow in the video game. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This is what we're worried about. Bro, somewhere there are like dog puppy mills going on right now. You know, somebody is stabbing a lion or something like that. A monkey is being, forced to smoke cigarettes or something. But this is what we are worried about here. A video game character of a cow, a bovine, if you will, that has a nose ring. It glosses over real-world cruelty to animals in the meat and dairy industries. A nose ring is a tool of cruelty that causes pain and discomfort. No cow in the real world who is forced to wear a nose ring would ever sport Cow's goofy grin in the Nintendo game. And there is Cow with a goofy grin. Hey, Nintendo, let Cow race free. Remove her nose ring. But what about when Cow gets hit by a car? What about when Cow gets hit by lightning? Is that okay? Like, that does that not symbolize similar things? Like, why do we draw the line at the nose ring? I see all these women and men nowadays. They got the nose ring in there. Why aren't we attacking them? They're kind of showing that this is a cool thing. I see smiles on their faces, but this This is where we have a problem. They sent a letter to Furukawa about this. The brass ring in the cow's nose glosses over real world violence. Bartlett's letter reads, "Let cow race freely, without reminders of the industries that treat animals like machines." Imagine like writing this letter. Imagine writing this letter and thinking you're going to accomplish something. Like, imagine that. That's the same as just putting out a tweet about empathy or sympathy when thousands of people get laid off from a company and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then you go do business with the company. You go to the events because the company brings you out places and sends you free swag. So you suck from their teeth. That is the exact same level. The exact same level. In the real world, nose rings are used by the meat and dairy industries to exploit, control, and even drag cows and bulls to their death. Workers crudely stab these nose rings through the sensitive part of the septums of bulls and cows, which can lead to lasting pain and discomfort. But when humans do it, it's fine. I'm sure you have some bull ring employees at PETA or something like that. We know Mario Kart World is just a game, and that's exactly why cow's nose ring needs to go. Mario Kart is supposed to be a fun escape, not a reminder of the painful tools used as cows in the meat and dairy industries. No one wants to think about an animal suffering while zipping around the racetrack. And this is not the first time that they've done shit like this. And this shows you the mental illness that companies like this have. Animal Crossing New Horizons because you abuse fish and insects. Pal World because you capture and use things. Hunting Simulator. Pokemon Black and White. Mario kills Tanuki. What the hell is wrong with you fucking people? Like, who looks at this character, Cow, and that's immediately where their mind goes to cruelty of animals. Like, there is something wrong with you. If that is immediately where your mind goes, there is something wrong with you. You have some inner issues and some inner demons that need to be exercised. Because let's be realistic. If you look into PETA's history about how they do things and how they handle things, it is less than flattering, to say the least. But they don't actually care about the issues at hand. They care about posturing. They care about trying to get into a groove with social media and get some likes and get some awareness to issues that don't actually exist, to kind of differentiate and kind of make people not notice all of the terrible things that they have done in the past and will continue to do in the future. That is my problem with moral grandstanding and virtue signaling and all that sort of stuff on the internet. I want people to think I'm a terrible person, because that way, if I do something stupid, people are just like, oh, well, that's RGT. What did you expect? He's not some moral high-class individual. He's just an average random person who makes mistakes, who has flaws. And like, I don't want people to have a conception of me that I am holier than thou and I am always pure and stuff like that, because I'm an individual. I'm a person. I make mistakes. This is the stupidest thing that I have seen in the world. The dairy industry will clip spiked nose rings onto baby cows so they can nurse and they get kicked away. Like, bro, you know what you do? Go after the real cow. Not the video game cow. You're going to go after movies too? You're going to go, you ever seen the movie King Kong? They take a large ape from his home, from where he lives, and then they put him on display, and then he dies? Are we going to go after King Kong? Because a movie is the same thing as a video game. It's not real. And if you think that these are real things, that is a you problem. That is something that needs to be addressed with a therapist and mental health professionals. And I encourage you to do that. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your mental health. It's actually a good thing. Because what happens when you don't take care of your mental health? This. Cow becomes a controversy in Mario Kart World. Mental health crisis in America? You goddamn right. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Are you offended by Cow? Do you think Cow needs to be changed? What do you think Furukawa is going to do with that letter? I hope it doesn't even read it. I hope he throws it away. And I like, how do you even send a letter to him? You got his address? You send it to his P.O. box? You're going to hand deliver it to him? a Nintendo headquarters in Japan. Like, where do these people get off? Like, entitlement. Entitlement. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.